Welcome to the Day 12 solution video for the We Are Ready series of ISTEP Prep videos. This particular worksheet is not a very long one. It's only got 3 questions total, but one of them is multiple part. So we will go through that one first. It says Jerry makes $7.50 each hour he works at a local ice cream shop. Write an equation that models his total earnings after working X hours. Now notice it does not say that he has a base salary, he's only got this hourly salary. So we have a slope of 7.50 and an intercept of nothing. And we're supposed to be writing an equation in y equals mx plus b form. So in this case that would be his earnings, y, equals 7.5x plus 0, or just 7.5x. Part B says Jerry gets a raise at work and begins making $7.75 per hour. Write an equation that models his new earnings after X hours based on this new information. Well, 7.5 was what he was making earlier, and that was the slope. So all we're going to do in Part B is change the slope from 7.5 to 7.75. Then Part C says, well, how did that compare to the first equation? Well, neither one of those has a y-intercept, so answers B and C you should be able to use your answer eliminator on. So then the question is, from A to B, what happened to the slope? Did it increase or decrease? Well, 7.75 is larger than 7.5, meaning that the slope has increased. The answer to the third part is D. Moving on to number 2. Number 2 has a compound inequality shown on the graph, and you're supposed to correctly identify which one of these represents the correct way to state that. Now, first off, anytime that your graph points out like this, that is an OR. To be an AND, it would have to be between. So this is an OR, which means right away we can eliminate 2 of these answers. Well, hold on a minute. That may not be true. Let me just forget about that, and let's reset this page and try that again. Let's just look at what we've got here, okay? We have 2 pieces to this. We have a closed circle at -5, and we're shading to the left. That piece there would be x is less than or equal to -5. So that eliminates a couple of these answers. That eliminates A and D. No, I guess I did say that correctly before. And then the other piece, we have an open circle at 3, and we're shading to the right. That piece is x is greater than 3. Because if we have a line here, that means we have a closed circle, and if we don't have a line, that means we have an open circle. So if we look at what we've got, the only difference between answer B and answer C is AND versus OR. So I was correct before when I said it, and I backed off because I talked myself out of it. We have 2 arrows pointing away from each other. That is the word OR. If they were shaded in between, that would be the word AND. So in this case, since these arrows are pointing away from each other, the correct answer would be x is less than or equal to -5, or x is greater than 3. And the third one, notice the word AND right away. That should tell you that 2 of those answers should go away immediately, those being B and D. But just because of what we're looking at, let's look at this a little bit differently. What we're going to do is we're going to solve these linear inequalities just like we would linear equations. So 2x is less than or equal to 12. Then we would divide by 2, which gives us x is less than or equal to 6. And on the other one, we would subtract 5 from each side, which would give us x is greater than or equal to 2. So there's another way to write this. If x is greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 6, we can say It's between 2 and 6. Now notice that both circles are closed because we have the lines, right? So we're looking for the one that shows the area between 2 and 6 being shaded. That is answer C. That does it for the Day 12 video. Thank you for your time. I hope you're finding these useful.